Chronic pain is physically exhausting, but there is often a second layer of suffering at work, what psychologists call dirty pain. This is the mental toll of the rigid rules and narratives we build around our condition, trapping us in a constant tug-of-war with our thoughts. This exercise from clinical practice demonstrates why fighting these thoughts is so difficult. It asks you to try, for just a few minutes, not to think of chocolate ice cream. Because the human mind works on a problem-solving model, the very act of trying to suppress a thought ensures that your brain remains focused on it. Cognitive diffusion is a clinical technique designed to interrupt this cycle. The goal isn't to make the physical sensation go away, but to train the mind to drop the rope and stop the internal struggle. To see how this works in practice, grab a pen and a piece of paper, or open a blank note on your phone. We are going to walk through a short, guided exercise. This session is about changing your relationship to your thoughts. We aren't trying to delete them. We are going to change how much power they have over your daily choices. First, identify one specific recurring rule or thought you have about your pain that currently prevents you from doing something you value. Write this thought down as a single sentence. Be sure to use the word "but" to connect your desire with the pain. For example, I would love to go to the movies tonight, but I am in so much pain. Yours might be, I want to exercise, but it hurts too much. Or, I'd like to be more present with my family, but this pain is too distracting. Pick the one that feels most restrictive. In psychological terms, this sentence represents cognitive fusion. It's a state where your identity and your physical condition have become so entangled that they feel like the same thing. Now move to a new line on your paper. We're going to rewrite that exact same sentence with one mechanical change. On a new line, write, I am having the thought that, followed by your original sentence. In the first version, the word am acts as an equal sign, suggesting that you and the pain are a single, unified state. Adding this prefix forces your brain to label the internal narrative as a mental event, something happening in your mind, rather than an objective fact about who you are. By describing it as a thought you are having, you create a small amount of mental space. You are now the observer of the thought, rather than being the thought itself. We have one final change to make. You can rewrite the sentence a third time or simply edit the line you just wrote. Find the word but, cross it out, and replace it with the word and. The word but acts as a logical roadblock. It implies that the two parts of the sentence cannot exist at the same time, that you must choose between your desire and the presence of your pain. The word and changes the logic entirely. It allows both things to be true at once. You can have a desire to engage in your life, and you can be experiencing physical pain simultaneously. This single vocabulary swap removes the requirement that the pain must be gone before you can act. It puts the choice of how to spend your time back in your hands. Put your pen down and read that final updated sentence aloud to yourself. Notice if the sentence feels slightly different. For many, the second version feels less heavy and less like an inescapable command. The thought about the pain hasn't disappeared, but its structure has changed. It has lost its authority to dictate exactly what you can and cannot do. What you've just done is a core component of clinical therapy for chronic pain. This worksheet, Beth's Rules About Pain, shows how patients use this process to identify and diffuse the restrictive rules that have been guiding their behavior for years. Try keeping the paper you just wrote on somewhere visible, like a nightstand or your fridge. Use it as a template whenever you notice a "but" statement starting to limit your choices. You can expand this practice by using a diary like this one, Beth's Painful Thinking Diary. By logging these thoughts as they occur throughout the day, you can begin to see the specific patterns of how fusion affects your physical actions. While you may not be able to control the intensity of your physical symptoms, you can control how you frame them. By consistently using these labels, you ensure that your thoughts about pain stay in the passenger seat, allowing you to stay focused on the activities you value.